seen and have in your head isn't something I automatically support because I don't agree with you guys about ICE.
Okay.
And to address Monty's points there, he didn't actually say anything or provide any evidence of me supporting violence or insurrectionists or anything like that. He just made assertions and said that I descriptively said, like, it was a descriptive statement telling you guys that in a broader point about how ICE is losing credibility with the American people. That is true. I wasn't saying, oh, since all this violence is going on, that's why ICE is losing credibility. The protesters are manipulating it and causing problems for ICE, and so I want the violence to keep up. I never said anything like that. And other people that were there that day can tell me if I'm lying right now about that.
All right. You got 50 seconds left. You want to take that, or you good?
No, I'm fine.
All right. Appreciate that, Sid. Let's bring it back up, Monty. All right, Monty.
So he likes to paint himself in this light now that he's under the gun about it, but every single thing he said in that opening statement contradicts everything he's said in previous statements, such as maybe, I don't know, a couple weeks ago when he said he hopes my family gets orphaned because I disagree with him on something. Every single time you nail him down to a point, he pivots. And he does this little song and dance where it's like, oh, I didn't exactly say that. No, but the insinuations, I can make assertions based off of insinuations. When you insinuate that ICE is being violent and being crude and doing all these things, and then go and say they're acting like the Gestapo and use rhetoric like that, there's only a logical conclusion to come to. If you really think somebody's a Nazi, maybe you shouldn't be peaceful. That's the broader assertion that's made, or insinuation that's made every time that kind of a comment is said, because you can say plenty of other things that doesn't look right. That, you can disagree on policy all day long, but the second you start labeling people and throwing ad hominems at people to discredit them so that it makes it easier for you to commit violence against them, or more justified for you to commit violence against them, that's when I say you are supporting insurrectionists. You are supporting violence. And the vast majority of these protests are not peaceful. Just the simple fact of impeding traffic is not peaceful. The simple fact of trying to alert other people to ISIS movements to dox them is not peaceful. The fact that you're blocking people with their cars is not peaceful. So the vast majority of protests are peaceful. We're not talking about the vast majority of protests. We're here talking about Alex Peretti, somebody who interfered with a law enforcement action, and you're doing everything you can to defend that man. We're talking about Renee Good, who did everything she can and sat in her car and beep bop booped, laughing and joking as she's protecting pedophiles from ICE. So that is obstruction. That is violence. That is not peaceful protesting. And everything he's done, every time the situations come up for him to rebuke any violence, he has chosen to insinuate and say maybe it's justified, maybe it's okay, because where's the Alex Joneses that say we need to get in the streets and blah 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 and we need to arm ourselves. All of that rhetoric in its totality shows a broader picture other than Sid coming up here and saying, oh, I denounce the violence. No, he's happy the violence is going on. Why? Because, like I said, it furthers his movement to delegitimize a legitimate president who was elected with an overwhelming majority of the country's support on a mandate to do exactly what he's doing.
And time. All right, now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring down Monty, and I'm going to go ahead and bring up our man Sid for a second here. All right, Sid, go ahead. Do you have any response to that one?
Yeah, 1 second.
Hold it. I'm gonna go out for Sid and ask you to let him reclaim some of this time back that I'm stealing from him.
Yeah, go ahead. You're good.
Just as another moderator. So after Sid makes his response, I would like to hear from both sides of the aisle, so Sid and Monty, how you guys think the situation could have been handled.
Hmm.
So after Sid gives this response,
All right.
that's the next thing I would like to hear from both sides.
All right. I'll go
Well,
ahead
I have a lot of things to respond to from Monty, but he characterized me as someone that said, I wished his children were orphaned because I disagreed with him. Apparently, a lot of people in this community have forgotten what happened that night. I have apologized for it multiple times now, but what
This is
happened
true.
was Monty was making jokes about how uh, Renee Good's children had been orphaned and gleefully laughing about it. And in anger, to hold up a mirror to him, I said, I hope that happens to you. I obviously don't. I regret saying it. That being said, we can drop it now. I think it's laughable, really, Monty's statements about how saying things are Gestapo or things are like Nazis rises to the level of incitement or causing people to go commit violence against people. I mean, I remember in 2020, 2021, all these people that were against the mandates, the vaccine mandates, the mask mandates, using the exact same language, if not more heated. And I was principled back then. I never said that was incitement. I never said that was inspiring violence against anyone in government that was doing these mandates, because it's obviously not. And if we asked Monty and he was going to be honest with you, he would agree that it's obviously not. This is an argument about how I supposedly support insurrectionists. And because I don't think that what Preddy was doing rose to the standards of what you need to meet insurrection, that I support an insurrectionist or any insurrection. I've never ever said, "Oh, maybe the violence is a good thing. Maybe the violence is necessary." When we were talking about Alex Jones, I was saying, "Isn't it funny that this guy warned us all about militarized police in the streets, facial recognition, FEMA camps, all this stuff, and now he's literally saying trust the government." I was pointing out that's just kind of funny. I wasn't saying, "Oh, Alex Jones was actually right the whole time, and I'm actually the new Alex Jones, and I think that we do need to get in the streets." And if I did, all of this stuff is recorded, and I have a lot of time tonight, and I could wait for Monty to go and get all the clips he needs of me supporting violence, or he can appeal to Set. Set might agree with him, but I think Set's an honest broker, and if he has any memory different than mine about what I said, what I've supported, what I haven't supported, I think it'd be worth hearing because he was there for all these conversations.
Mm. All right. Well, I will give you this one, my friend. You did come in and apologize, and I have not heard you support any form of violence. So I will give you that. But all right, let's go ahead and bring down Sid, and let's go ahead and bring up my man Monty.
So why is it that after Charlie Kirk's shooting, everybody on the right was told to bring the temperature down, but now it's not beholden to anybody on the left to bring the temperature down in this case, after the constant barrage of violent rhetoric that Sid has not done anything to condemn? Maybe he hasn't outrightly gleefully supported it, except for wishing death on my children. And to make a point, I was not laughing gleefully. I said that she fucked around and found out, and these are consequences, and now her kids are orphaned because of her bad decisions. That is what I said. So let's not twist it, because there's a whole short on YouTube. Maybe that's why Set shadow banned right now, but that is not what I said. And to twist it to make yourself feel better about wishing death on somebody, not really cool. I get that you've apologized, but there are things that when you inspire violence or wish death on people, you don't just get to shrug that off and not have it used against you. With regards to you've never outright supported it, every single thing you have said has been, oh, they're justified. Renee Good was justified in running away from the police officer because they were big and scary. Alex Peretti was just filming he wasn't standing in the middle of the street trying to stop vehicles and waving people on. He wasn't doing any of that. He didn't go to a already hostile situation armed and then resist arrest and resist detainment. He didn't do any of those things. So it's almost like through your actions of not condemning it, you are supporting it. Because when I see a violent act, the first thing I said is, that doesn't look justified to me. Now that I've had more time to look at it, it is reasonable to assume that that officer feared for his life. Sid can't take the intellectual honesty because it won't support his point. He's more than happy to take it when I say it, that, oh, it looks like a bad shoot, and give me kudos. But when more facts come out, he can't be honest with himself and say, just like in Renee Good, the more that came out, the less you saw of Sid. Why? Because it doesn't look very good to defend somebody that tries to run somebody over. So I guess no, you have not outwardly gleefully danced in the street, but you sure seemed very, very cozy, not condemning anything. And that's, if you don't condemn it, you support it.
All right. And all right, man. Shout out to my man Monty. Let's go ahead and bring up my man Sid. All right, Sid, you got a response for that?
Yeah, I do. Well, I want to start by saying now I'm wishing death on his kids. I mean, this just keeps changing. I never wish death on anyone's kids, and that's just absurd. But he also said a few other things I never said. I never said it's okay for her to try to run cops over, try to flee cops because they're big and scary. Never said that, and we haven't even gotten into the real debate on whether or not these are good shoots, because the conversation never gets there. And I will say this right now, even if I come to the determination that pretty or good, we're actively engaging in an insurrection, I still hold that these were not good shoots and these were not valid uses of force. We could get into that, but that is a separate debate. Monty is here with the positive claim that I support insurrections. He has not represented me in good faith one time at all. He has not gone back and taken any time or asked for any time to get my exact words. He's paraphrased. He said that me expressing myself, my First Amendment right to describe ICE as Gestapo, or compare them to Nazis, or say that I'm fine with what Tim Walz said, or I'm fine with some of the rhetoric I've heard, is rising to the level of supporting insurrection, despite me saying that I don't support the violent riots or insurrections. And he could win this by, getting the things that we have recorded, that we have video of, and just showing it to my face. And he's not doing that. Instead, he's relying on paraphrasing. I know his wife's there. She could be his debate partner and go through the transcript and find me saying, oh, Renee was in the right because the cops are big and scary. And the last thing I want to contest, you didn't just say, oh, she made a bad choice and now her kids are orphaned because of it. You did make some jokes about it. We both got reprimanded that night. And I think I remember S.E.T saying that a lot of people felt what I said when I said it in the moment, because you did seem kind of gleeful about it. You did seem kind of happy about it. Did the Charlie Kirk thing. That was an individual, non-state actor gunman that every prominent Democrat and person on the left condemned. And I myself condemned it. And the right was saying, oh, you took out the debater. A lot of people on the right were saying, you took out the good one. You took out the moderate. Now get ready for the radical. And they were being very violent with their language about how they were going to start interacting with the left, the general left. And it was absurd because, you know what? Charlie Kirk's killer got found and brought to justice. It wasn't a killing executed by the state, where they don't even want to give out the name of the person that did it and just assign him to a different state, and nobody knows who he is or where he is.
And time. All right.
Okay, so now that we are done with all of
the hold on, gaming. He said,
I don't want to keep harping.
No.
I don't.
He said a whole lot of things to say a whole lot of nothing, and basically admitted that he said it, and it's on me to prove that he said it, because I don't have the clips right in front of me, and I don't have access to him saying that he wished death on me and hoped my kids were an orphan, or that he has supported he calls them protests. And when we show the videos, when we're talking about videos, we're not talking about protests. We've established that they're not protests, they are riots. And he talks, and that is the commentary we're getting from him, is reactions to those videos. So if he thinks those are protests, then exactly, he is supporting protests in his frame of mind, and it is not a protest, it is a riot. So he is supporting riots, i.e. insurrections.
All right. Let me go
All
ahead and
right,
bring.
to get to this next point, I would like to hear both of you all's opinions on how this situation could have gone if the ICE officers had a bit more physical information, meaning information like what they could see with their eyes. If the situation was different, how do you think the ICE officers should have handled it?
But all right, though. Now,
I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to say you could either respond to Monty or respond to Gaming's question.
Well, all respect to gaming, I don't know how that's relevant to the specific debate we're having. Just because, and I don't really want to debate about the debate, but it's about whether or not I support insurrection or not, and that doesn't seem relevant. But
all right, go ahead and respond to Monty.
Yeah,
then.
To go to what Monty said, I'm not admitting that, oh yeah, I did support it, you just have to have the clips. I'm refuting that I've ever supported or made any of the claims he's making, and saying that he could catch me in a lie right now by grabbing them or having a direct quote from me. I appealed to S.E.T once about what I said or didn't say, and he kindly, confirmed that I was accurately describing what happened. I don't think that Monty has accurately described what happened, and I'm also not claiming I never said that terrible thing about hoping the same thing that happened Renee Good happened to you. You came up the time before your last time and said, I said that I hoped your kids died, which never did, never would do. And I shouldn't have done the other thing either. But we need to stop talking about that because that's irrelevant. That doesn't go into how I support insurrection or not. So, yeah, I think the onus is on you to come up with me supporting an insurrection. You chose the parameters of the debate. You didn't have to choose such a hard debate where you have to get inside my head and you don't even have clips. You don't even have Discord logs. You don't have anything. You're coming here with nothing. That's pretty much it, man. I don't even know how much more there is to say.
All right, I'll give you that one. I'll go ahead and let Monty explain that one then. All right, Monty, go ahead.
I don't think S.E.T just slammed the door on anything you've ever said, personally, but it's kind of ill-fated of you to expect someone to go through a 6.5, 7 hour, 8 hour, 12-hour live stream just to clip out what you're doing in a 3-minute response window. And it's disingenuous. I can't do that while preparing and listening to the garbage you're saying. I have come with plenty of things. I have stated plenty of things. You can refute any of the things that I have said by doing the same thing you're asking me to do, if it's that easy to do. Everybody in the chat has heard you say these things. If we run a poll right now, everybody in the chat is going to hear my side of what happened and be like, yeah, that's more likely what happened. If it's not for the fact that anytime we have a conversation, it's just you and me screaming at each other. So when you do get a breath of air, you say the most radical and ridiculous fucking offhanded things. So it's really hard to nail down every single thing you say and serve it to you on a silver platter. If you'd like me to embarrass you that way, trust me, I'm petty. I will spend all night long and go look through all S.E.T's clips if that's what you really, really want. But everybody has a short memory span, and Sid's gonna say he never said any of those things in this debate, because that's what he always does. He moves the goalposts, he throws red herrings into arguments, he goes with whataboutisms, and he generally supports anything that will do. And I can go find this clip. Nothing can be done in the positive for this administration. It can the only evidence Sid will look at is evidence that is damning. There is no redemption for the Trump
time. All right. Shout out to my man Monty. Let's go ahead and bring up my man Sid. All right, Sid. I'll give you an extra 20 seconds on that one. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I heard a lot of bitching, quite frankly, about the debate topic Monty picked. You don't have to go sit through the thing. I mean, YouTube has transcripts, man. You're saying I said these things. Type in those words. See if I said those things. Simple as. I don't know what else I have to do. I don't have much more to say. I don't need all this extra time.
All right, then. Hey, man, I'd love to hear it. All right, Sid. Well, Sid is pretty solidified in his position right there. I mean, go ahead, Monty.
What's up?
Oh no, Sid's already he's already done.
Oh,
Sid
yeah,
was already.
I mean, it's really hard to defend it when the evidence is there. So of course he's done. You can ask anybody that's objectively watched anything between Sid and I, and it always spirals into attacks. It always spirals into, and it usually starts with some outrageous thing that Sid says that sets me off, and then we just go back and forth all night long. And he has said as much with other people in the Discord that, oh, he just does it for attention. So maybe he might not mean the things he says. Maybe that's why he has this short-term amnesia when he's called out on it, because he's just saying it for laughs. But because he's disingenuous about everything that he says. So maybe that's why he can't fathom the idea that he says and supports violent acts and says, so what, every time something like this happens, and every time it's pointed out to him, he has a defense for it. So by defending these acts, by defending these riots, by defending these protests against legitimate law enforcement operations, that's not debated. You can't debate that because it's in black and white in the law. Of course he's done. He's cooked. If he would like me to actually close the casket on him and throw the dirt on top of him, then meet me back here tomorrow, and I will bring up all the clips and I'll share them with you.
Now, I do want to give you guys at least we give it an 8-minute back and forth.
An 8-minute back and forth.
Can I do one more? Can I do one more reply with him muted real quick?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
I got you. One more reply. Got you, dog.
Yeah. Okay. I've never said in the Discord, I just do this for attention. What I said in the Discord is that private chats on the voice chat there will be a little bit more nice because I'm trying to be less entertaining. I don't think appealing to Set's audience, which is disproportionately right-leaning and agrees with your points generally, is a good metric for whether or not you're right. I'm just going to say that right there, and I hope you don't disagree. That being said, I can say that what Renee Good was doing was wrong when she was killed. I can say even though I am not convinced by it at all yet, that what Alex Preddy was doing was wrong. Simultaneously, I can also think that it didn't rise to the level for the use of force to be adequate there. That is not contradictory. I'm sure there are many people that thinks what Ashley Babbitt was doing was wrong, but disagree that's with the use of force by that officer. You can tell me maybe you agree, maybe you don't. But the point is, they're not like contradictory to say you shouldn't block traffic, you shouldn't block ICE cars that are trying to drive, but also she didn't need to be shot like that. And the use of force is not justified there. Those are different conversations. And me saying that is not me supporting every action either of these individuals have done throughout their entire life or in the moments leading up to when they were killed. And
All
any
right.
reasonable person would agree with that.
All right. Now, honestly, I would actually want to hear your. Yeah, honestly, I think you guys honestly debate the legality of the shooting, or was it a necessary one? I think that would be a better one for you guys. But hey, man, shout out to C. McCaff. Appreciate the support, sis. She says, I watch all the live stream, Sid. Monty is right, in my honest opinion. Now, I'm not sure if she means of the egging them on, the what do you mean by that, sis? Like, because Monty claimed a lot of things. But all right, let me bring Monty up here.
So, not one time did I say that Sid was being contradictory. I said that except for when I was talking about an earlier point. When you say Renee Good shouldn't have done what she did, there is this notion that things are a dynamic situation and that no, for blocking the road, she does not deserve to get shot. That's not why she got shot. For blocking the road, Alex Peretti also did not deserve to get shot. For interfering, Alex Peretti did not deserve to get shot either. However, when you introduce a deadly weapon into a confrontation, that rises to the level of deadly force. And doing everything you can to try to throw dirt on that is supporting the deadly acts in which they were intended to that they were carrying out. So that is contradictory. Like it's a red herring in the argument. You're making a false comparison. No one deserves to get shot because they're blocking the road. They do deserve to get shot if they are trying to run somebody over. They do
Well,
deserve to get shot.
you're assuming a point I haven't made. I never said for blocking the road.
That was what you responded to me with, though. So that is
No,
the
no,
point
no,
you
no,
made.
no. I never said. I said I don't think either of them were good shots. I don't, and I didn't say, oh, what is blocking the road capital punishment. I didn't say either of those things.
Actually,
I,
yes, you did. You said she
I
doesn't
d-
deserve to get shot because she's blocking the road. What she did was wrong. She doesn't deserve to get shot for it, though. And
You did
no, I
I
said
say,
simply said,
I
Sid, you
said I
did say
don't
that.
believe they were good. I said I don't
You
believe
said,
they were good shots.
well, you
yeah.
don't get to
And I don't.
determine that.
What are you talking about, dude? Neither do you.
Opinion.
And I'm not determining it, but you seem
Well,
hell
you're
bent on
making a claim too. You're making a claim too, just as I am.
but
Okay, so why don't we
you
actually have the
seem hell
argument
bent
and get out of personalities?
you seem hell bent on defending the fact that this is murder or a state sponsored execution, as I think what you said on Renee Good.
Yeah, I've never been able to actually make the argument.
Okay. Yeah,
Really?
because
Wait.
No,
They're making
it
the
you
always
argument
haven't
on.
made
devolves
the
into
argument.
personalities. It always
Hold on,
devolves into personalities.
but what are we making the argument on?
Well, I guess now we're arguing. I don't know, Monty. Do you move off the claim that I support insurrectionists?
No, I've well established that. And if you'd like
So
all of
so
the
should
clips, if you'd
we?
like all of the clips of everything that I've said tonight, I will go and do exactly what you said. And you better be here tomorrow and answer to them.
Man, these
Yeah, I
clips are gonna
will.
be epic.
I will.
you
So
and you
should we close the door on this argument and maybe give our final thoughts and have the panel give
I
their
mean,
thoughts on who made the
my
better
final
argument? Then we could move on to the justification for these shootings.
oh buddy. You if you want to get into that one, I was trying to give you an easy one, but if you want to get into the justification of shootings, I'm gonna have you wrapped in circles. But go ahead.
I mean,
Well,
sounds
I think that we could close out on this one and have the other people that are here give their thoughts on the debate we just had.
all right. So
All right, can we run a poll? Does Sid support insurrectionists based off of the claims that he's made in the past?
I'm
well,
going to be
remember, I'm gonna go ahead and give the well. You want to give your honest assessment first, or me?
My honest assessment is that Sid makes inflammatory remarks. Sid says things that maybe he doesn't mean. Maybe it's just all for shock value and for entertainment. If that's the case, then I will concede that maybe he doesn't support insurrectionists. However,
going off of his own words. Every time we've had a conversation, the conversation always, yes, you're right, it does devolve into personalities, but it before it gets there, it is justification for the horrific things that are happening.
All right, now, yo, Gaming, what you think?
Going based off of substance and substance alone.
Sid's got to be able to respond to that because I believe I spoke first. So anytime I speak after Sid, he has to have the last word.
No, we're not doing that. We're closing it out. And I'm going based off of
Can anybody hear
substance
me?
alone.
Sid,
Yo,
can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you?
No, you're well. All right, I think something happened with Monty's mic.
I can hear Set, but I can't hear Gaming. I'm gonna have to back out and come back in.
All right, gotcha.
The usual. So I personally think, not even personally think, I'm just going based off of how I debated before. And one of the key things that we look for is substance. Now, the one thing that I was trying to do was, by that question of what would you have done differently, it was actually a lifeline to try to get some substance in there. But when you said this, not the question, this, that, and the other, I didn't contest it because I wanted, well, if you're hell bent on digging your own grave, then I'm just going to let.
All right, I guess his mic is going. Damn, everybody mic going out. Like, damn. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and give my honest assessment of it. Now,
Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and give my honest assessment of it here. And honestly, I'm be real with you. I don't think that the argument was made that Sid actually supports insurrection. I'll be honest with you. Now, do I can sit here and say, does Sid support these people's right to protest? For sure. But I and that whole, out of all what Sid was saying, I did not pick up where Sid supports insurrection.
Right.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't pick it up right now because he's in a debate about that topic. He's not gonna say I support insurrection.
No, my Monty. I think about it. I even opened up with the precursor of the pre-questions of, all right, well, do you want this to be stopped? Do you want the ICE enforcement to be stopped? And he was like honestly, he didn't say yes. He thinks that it can be done in a better way, and he doesn't support the way it's being done. But he did not say that, I want this to be stopped, and I support the way the protesters are doing it. I think that would be the only way to clip him down as, okay, you support insurrection.
And also, this was a debate about all of the things I've said over a course of multiple conversations. It's not like Set or Gaming doesn't remember those. Remember how maybe they don't remember every specific word because nobody can, but it's not like his memory just begins and ends right here. You know what I mean? And you didn't really make a compelling point, Monty. Like, I think you have feelings.
What are you going to have to say when I bring up the clips of you saying everything I said you said?
Well, I will look really foolish, right?
Okay. So leave that as it is. Run the poll because this was a debate between you and me in front of an audience. See who agrees with who. It's not a biased poll. You came to this channel to debate me.
Yeah, dude. Not to debate you, but we did debate. And also, people love to hate me in this channel and in the Discord. It just is what it is.
I wonder
because you guys all have different political beliefs than me. I mean, it makes sense.
No. All right, let me implicate.
We hate people with different political beliefs, guys.
No, I don't hate nobody. Oh, let me defend myself because again, I'm up here to talk my shit, and I'm gonna talk my shit. First of all, Sid, I don't fucking know you. You don't really know me like that, and you've only heard me speak on a handful of occasions whenever you're fucking on. And so far, we haven't even gotten into any real debate. Now, if you would like to debate me on some several fucking topics, I go based off the definition. And I don't play the fuck ass bullshit. I don't like that definition. It is what it is. It's in black and fucking white. Argue with the people who made the definition. Don't argue with me. Second, I go based off of fucking facts and what I can see. And so far, ask Monty, ask Set, ask Tobe, ask people in the chat. Every time, both of these shootings, I've been 2 for 2. 2 for 2 for calling shit out. Shit that most people won't see. So much so, I'm pretty sure CNN fucking scalp set clip. I said that as a joke, but I'm also serious. Because everything
I don't know what you're
that I
talking
did,
about, man. Like, this
Maybe
debate
pay
wasn't even
attention,
about
because
the shooting.
if you were paying attention, you'd know what he was talking about. If you don't know what he's
Well,
talking about, it's because you weren't paying attention.
The debate wasn't even about the shootings, man. Like,
I'm getting
No,
to
the
the
debate
part
is
where
about the protests in general and the fact that you support what you call protests, and I call them insurrections. And you said based off of your own thing, we haven't been reacting to protest videos, Sid. We've been reacting to riot videos and to shootings based off of
yeah,
situations
there's
that are
been
happening.
cherry picked
And you've
videos. Of course,
you have
of course, you're
always
not sitting
taken the position
here.
of the left. You've always
Of
taken
course,
the
you're not sitting
position
here
of the
watching
left.
people. Of course, you're not sitting here watching people just walk with signs. Of course. So how entertaining would that be? You're getting cherry picked clips of the worst events, worst of the worst
The
situations,
worst
and
of
you're
the
watching
worst.
those.
Why
You're
is
saying,
it the worst of the worst happening every
bro,
single day if it's not
over
constant?
50,000 people came out last Friday. Over 50,000 people came out last Friday.
Well,
Not one window broken. Not
not
one car
50,000 people.
vandalized.
So let's ignore the FBI vehicles that got broken into that you had no comment about.
That was a different
Let's
day.
ignore.
That was a different day. And my comment was I don't support that.
Now it is. Now that you've been called out, of course it is.
Now that I've been asked about it, I've been asked about it. In the moment, I wasn't sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, this is based. I hope I don't have to get into a debate where I have to say I didn't say this." And you're not going to be able to find that. I mean, you could look all night long for it, bro.
Okay, bud.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I don't.
Hold up. As I was saying, the poll isn't fucking biased. Okay? I got into it with S.E.T. I've got into it with Monty. I get into it with you. Hell, I even disagree with Toad. The point is, the poll is based off of what you said.
Who brought a
if
more
it had
compelling
value,
argument?
If it had value, if it had substance. And going off of that criteria, I'm going to be honest, I didn't really hear nothing of substance from either side. It was kind of like soft personal attacks. But on the front of, like, did you say this or did you say that? A couple of things I heard, and a lot. My mom even, she goes, who the hell is that talking like that? So, yeah, you were heard by a couple of people.
Okay.
All righty. Like I said, I already gave my honest review. I don't think we was able to pin sit down on the whole he supports insurrection point. So that's just where I stand with it. Obviously, everybody else stands somewhere with it. Now, as far as running a poll,
run the poll.
I would like to.
That's not going to do
like
anything, to be honest with you.
Why don't you want to do it?
I would like
because
to.
everybody's going to
Wait.
No, because
do it. It'll make
no. If I did it, then Sid would be right. We'd be proving Sid right, actually. To be quite honest,
it'll make Monty feel better.
Here, dog. I'm be honest with you. If we was doing this with my regular viewership, where I got a lot of left and right in here, then yeah, sure. But right now it's just us, so it would be extremely unfair to sit there and run a poll, knowing damn well it's going to go in Monty's favor. And we all know that.
I mean, every other poll. Hold on, Set. Every other poll with your viewing audience that you've run has overwhelmingly been 90% in my favor. So, and that's with left, right, and center. So that's not really. I get what you're saying.
Monty,
I get what you're
saying. It is like mainly my group is right wing. So
you know what?
when I put in this, and when I put in this, and when I put in those, I'm gonna be honest with you, it is mostly right people voting on it. So
I appreciate you calling balls and strikes and being honest, but you just want to make him feel better. Run the poll, man. He needs to see the poll. He needs to have that approval.
That's how a debate works. I mean, you debate in front of an audience, and the audience decides.
Okay, let's cut the hippie shit. Let's have an actual debate. All right, on balance, was this shooting justified? Why or why not? No personal attacks, no ad hominems, straight facts. If you have a definition, you better go by the governmental definition, meaning you need to make sure it's consistent with what's written in fucking law. I will be fact checking.
Okay. I say both of them are completely justified. Your turn, Sid.
I say neither of them are justified.
You can push me. Okay, you can put. And now you need to respond. So push me in the back, Set.
All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and give the first 3 minutes to my man Sid. Sid, go ahead and explain to you why none of them are justified.
Okay.
No, give him 4. Give him 4.
I'm weak.
It would make more sense to go one by one. If we want to start chronologically, we can start with the Renee Good one. I think that the test for this is a reasonable officer, what a reasonable officer would feel of imminent death or bodily injury. And the test for that is looking at a totality of circumstances. According to the totality of circumstances in this case, I do not think any reasonable officer would find it, one, that Renee Good was intending to kill him, given that from the plethora of videos we saw from the
Let me
officer's
let me pause
perspective.
you. Let me pause
Bro,
you right
come
there.
on, no, whoa, gaming. Come
No,
on now,
let me
bro.
pause. I get to ask a question. Hold up. I'm gonna let him reclaim
Wait.
his time.
What,
Let me
dude?
ask him a question. What is, because I don't know what the totality of circumstances definition is. Can you give me a brief summary of that, and then you can have
I mean, bro. All right, come on, gaming. Come on, gaming. Really?
The totality of circumstances is exactly how it sounds from the perspective
Yeah.
of everybody there, the officer, the individual themselves, and then the reasonable officer test is whether a reasonable officer would think that their use of force would, one, stop the threat of death or bodily injury to themselves or to others, and be able to perceive that threat as a reasonable officer. So, for example, if somebody was getting shot at from the north and they were under siege, getting shot at from the north, and they started shooting into a mall to their south, would that use of force be justified in stopping the threat coming from the north? No, it would not. And in this circumstance, we saw Jonathan Ross use force to kill Renee Good because, in the best case or best faith scenario, he perceived her brandishing or progressing with a dangerous weapon being her car towards him when he was violating policy to begin with by shooting at a moving vehicle that was moving towards him. I don't have it on hand. I honestly wasn't expecting to do this debate right now. I could get it. There's a reasonable officer would not perceive that them shooting a vehicle that is already